Welcome, I'm Andy, and this is Daily Spins, a series where I am attempting to actively listen to every single record that I own. So I'm sitting down with these records, no screens, just listening to the records, reading the inserts, the liners, checking out the jacket and the nice cover art. So anyway, that's where I'm going, and let's jump right into what I listened to last night. I started off with Take a Picture by Margo Guryan. So this album just came in the mail for me as part of the larger box set that Numero Group just did, Words and Music. So this has 3 LPs and a booklet. It's a really great set. Here's some of the other inclusions. Let's Take a Picture. Really great album. And there's a book. I love the books for these. For the price, I was really just aiming for Take a Picture, but 27 Demos also has some really good stuff as well, and I wasn't really aware of the third album that was included, but for the price, if you're going to get 2 of them, you might as well just get the box set. Really great. Numero Group is my favorite label, hands down. So I was really excited about this one. I have been avoiding listening to this album on streaming because I wanted to listen to it in its entirety the first time on vinyl. I just wanted to sit down and enjoy it in that way. And I've been aware of this for a very long time. I remember first finding out about Margo when I was reading a book about pet sounds, and at the end of the book there was this whole section just about other artists commenting or quoting why they like pet sounds or how it affected them or inspired them. And Margo was one of the people in that book, and I had never heard of her, but she wrote something to the extent of that after she heard pet sounds, it just blew her mind. She listened to God Only Knows on repeat and immediately wrote her next album and started writing songs for that, which happened to be Take a Picture. So that was always in the back of my mind as something I wanted to check out. 3 years ago, Sundays actually reissued Take a Picture, and somehow I missed it. I just slept on it. I didn't get it. Don't know why. Sometimes I don't go to the Sundays website because I kind of want everything, so I avoid it. Anyway, the album itself, first listen all the way through, I was not disappointed. So this is very much late 60s Baroque pop. She has a really calming, whispery vocal delivery. And the whole album is solid. A-side, B-side, I don't have a favorite on this one. The whole thing was great. If I play this again, and I certainly will, I'm going to put it on the turntable and listen to both sides. The album flow is really great as well. I mean, this is one where it is an album. It is made to listen to front to back. That's how I think it would be best enjoyed. And yeah, very enjoyable. I'm glad I saved for this one and just listen to it this way for the first time instead of picking songs, because it really is just a great album. So there's a song on it called Something's Wrong with the Morning. And when I was listening to that, that's on the B side, it was reminding me of another song and I couldn't place it. And then I did. And that's the next album I went to for the night. Swan Song for You. This is Isabel Campbell from Belle and Sebastian. This is an original from like 2000. I picked this up at Randy's. I still have the sleeve with the stickers on the back, which is a Salt Lake record store. Yeah, and this I picked up because the song Falling from Grace is, I love that song. It's a great song, and that's the song that Something's Wrong with the Morning was reminding me of. So picked this album and I was like, I don't know if I've ever like really paid attention and listened to this whole thing. And so this is the first time I remember doing that. And it was okay. This was a hit or miss kind of up and down ride for me. Some songs I really enjoyed, but there was some others that just kind of lost my interest. I can't really tell why right now. When an album does this to me, when I'm like, it's okay, that makes me want to listen to it again more. A lot of the times if I'm listening to something brand new without too much context, I'm kind of just thinking like, I wonder what's coming next. I never get too settled because I'm always kind of thinking of what could be next, or is it going to throw me for a loop, or is the whole album just going to sound exactly like this? So I could have been a little distracted in that sense when I'm listening to it, or when I was. So I do plan on listening to this again. If I don't mesh with something right away, that drives me to want to listen to it even more, at least to figure out and get a better feel of the album. So this will be on the list for me to do that with. After that, though, I did want something a little easier, a little more familiar, where I could really kick back and just enjoy and know that I was going to enjoy it. And so I turned to Songs from Suicide Bridge. This is David Kauffman and Eric Carbor. This is a Light in the Attic reissue. Really nice copy. Great picture there. Yeah, so this is kind of like, I would say it's like a pop folk album in a lot of ways. It's from the 80s. I love this album. I really love this album. A side is, I don't have a favorite side. Who am I kidding? Kiss Another Day Goodbye, amazing. Life Without Love, Angel of Mercy. The song that originally really stood out to me when I heard this for the first time, this is absolutely the song that's going on the playlist. This will probably be the first album where I include 2 songs on my playlist, is Life and Times on the Beach. So this is kind of like a slower piano ballad at the beginning, but then it crescendos into this huge, really fast mandolin part. It's like a mandolin solo breakdown kind of thing, and it's very emotional. It's amazing, and I didn't see that coming the first time I listened to it. So this is a surprising album in a lot of ways. Really great, though. I mean, their voices are very soothing. They're very good. Everything about this album is an easy listen, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. So that's Songs from Suicide Bridge, David Kauffman, Eric Carbor. Yeah, it's just a killer album. So I was still feeling pretty chill after that one. I wanted to go to something not too heavy. This is an album I normally listen to on cassette. Floral Shop by Macintosh Plus. So this is my copy of the album. This has quite a history, really, and I think I have this more because of the history and watching the genre of Vaporwave kind of become a thing. Mine comes with this nice poster. You know, looks like it was done in MS Paint, which is probably almost certainly what they're going for. So Vaporwave as a genre, generally speaking, utilizes tracks from the 80s, but not like mega hit tracks. We're talking like elevator music tracks or commercial tracks, or, you know, just music from the 80s that just kind of is out there and existing, and it's, you know, pretty much everybody wants this stuff to be open source. And so mostly what it is those songs slowed down and chopped up and pieced together. Some people love it, some people hate it. I definitely understand if this is not your thing. I like it, though, just kind of for the rich history of Vaporwave. It's a very interesting history. On this one, I'll actually probably put a link in the description for some great references and you know, video documentaries people have done about Vaporwave and the history, because I think that's almost more exciting than the album itself. This is a pretty okay album. I enjoy it. I actually really enjoy it. If you're into things like Boards of Canada and kind of like tape loops, manipulation stuff, you're probably going to be into this. It is a very easy listen. It could be background noise. It could be a little distracting in times as well. You could just think like, what, am I playing the record too slow? But overall, highly recommend it. At least give it a try. At least just stream it. You can stream this album, or at least most of it now. And it's a really fun listen. So now this is where the schizophrenia comes in. I wanted to end the night with a bang. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I went straight to this next album, and that is Slaughter of the Soul, At the Gates. So At the Gates are one of the purveyors of melodic death metal, especially Swedish melodic death metal, along with Dark Tranquillity and In Flames. Like, these three bands were the gods and the creators, basically, of Swedish melodic death metal, and I love all of them. It's great. They all kind of switched members up and traded back and forth. Very much seemed like a community at the time. Yeah, just a classic melodic death metal album. This one actually has a nice inner sleeve with the old school liner notes where everybody gets a section where they thank all their friends and stuff. I'm pretty sure one of the most surprising things about this, I'm pretty sure some of these guys are grade school teachers as well, which is super cool. I mean, being a teacher is more metal than at the gates, and that's saying something. Like, all respect out there to teachers, man. They have a heck of a job. But the album, I love this. This album is like relaxing to me. I love this stuff. I couldn't pick a favorite side. This is an album I always listen to all together. I'd probably say A-side's a little bit stronger if you're just listening to one. Blinded by Fear, Slaughter of the Soul, Cold, Under a Serpent Sun. Just amazing tracks right out of the gate. I actually love the last song too, The Flames of the End. A lot of Swedish death metal and melodic death metal makes use of synthesizers. Out of all the three, Dark Tranquillity, In Flames, and then At the Gates, these guys are the most brutal and have the least kind of melodic synth stuff happening, at least. But the last track is like, it almost sounds like something out of the Matrix. It really gives that vibe off. It's an interesting ending to the album, but I love it. Yeah, and this is just like super heavy. It's got to be tuned to like A or B. I mean, it's down there. Maybe, probably like drop B is what I would guess. Maybe drop C. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm going off about that. Super heavy, fast riffs. This is just great. Out of all of those other Swedish bands, though, at least the other three, Dark Tranquillity and In Flames, they might be the hardest one to get into. It's definitely, yeah, like I said, just the most brutal out of all of them. But this is such a good album. If you're into metal at all, front to back, this album will blow your socks off. Everyone should hear it at least once that's into metal, because it really is just a true classic within the genre. And yeah, it's great. I love so many of these songs. I'm not sure which one I'll put on the playlist. Kind of just want to dump the album on it, but that's that. Slaughter of the Soul. I ended my night. It was a weird ending. I was super hyped up at the end because of this album, and then it was bedtime. I probably won't be hopping to metal on its own again like that, because after I listen to one metal album, I'm so ready for another one. I mean, metal is just something that's, yeah, I toured and played metal for years, and this just, it's comforting. I understand it more than most music, and it just makes sense to me. So it's very comforting, and it's easy to listen to. So that's it. That was my night. Got through, what is that, 5 albums, I think? Yeah, so making progress. I think we're finally up to 19 or 20 albums in a couple days, so slowly getting our way through the 1,500. It's still going to be a process. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe you found something new to listen to. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.